Hey everyone, welcome to another commentary. So today I'm going to be doing Malzahar. So I've had a few people in the comments section request Malzahar. So over the last day and a half, I've spammed about 13 games of Malzahar straight in high elo on my high grandmaster nearly challenger account. So what I'm going to be doing is running you through an entire game here from beginning right through to the end. Try and cover a lot of the fundamentals and so you guys can replicate it in your own games. So first of all, we'll cover the runes quickly. In terms of the runes, I like going. I've tested like a lot of different things, and I found that Summoner Spellbook is the best. So the reason Summoner Spellbook is the best is because Malzahar doesn't need you don't need Summoner Airy because it's not about Malzahar. In my opinion, isn't about laning and poking. It's more about like pushing and moving or setting up 100-0 ganks. And Airy just doesn't get that much effectiveness. And Malzahar also can utilize pretty much all of the different summoners in mid to late game really, really, really well. And I view it like similar to Oriana with Spellbook. Like you can utilize Ghost, you can utilize Heal, Exhaust, Ignite, Barrier, all of them super, super well. So I've had the most success with Summoner Spellbook, and then secondary I like going the Mana Flow Band because you're very mana intensive, and then I like to round it off with Scorch because I feel as though Scorch or Transcendence, either of them are fine, but in lanes where you feel like you're going to be able to get a bit of damage off, Scorch is just like a preference there for me. So in this game I was actually versing a Veigar. And I always take teleport with Summoner Spellbook as well because you want to teleport back to lane, and Dematerializer is the absolute key to Malzahar, and you'll kind of see it as this game progresses, but Dematerializer allows you to get really, really good bases, and that's actually unlocks your ability to be able to roam. You dematerialize a cannon, you use your E, your W, push the wave, and you can roam and look to get a kill. So first of all, in the early laning phase with Malzahar, what I found is pre-first base levels 1 to 3 is absolute garbage. And you may ask, why do I take Q level 1? So the reason a lot of the time I've realized taking Q is that you want to be looking to proc your mana flow. So in this game, I've already procced my mana flow twice, like at level 1 when they went for an invade. And I found that when I go for E, I find it really hard to walk up and then just like E someone because the range is so short, and there's no point Eing the minions either because it does such little damage. So what I've actually found is that taking Q level 1 allows you to just, when this guy goes for minions like this, you can just set your Q like this, and it can help proc your mana flow band in the early game, which is absolutely essential for Malzahar. So you'll see me as he like begins to walk up here. I actually end up look like that. I look to get some Qs off. In the early laning phase, I'm not looking to really pressure. I just want to make sure I'm CSing as well as I can. I'm not looking to do anything special, and make sure I can get to my a decent base, whether it's a Dark Seal and an Amplifying Tomb, and I ideally want to get to my Lost Chapter as soon as possible, and get to my level 6 without anything kind of really bad happening in this game. So I can't really interact in the early game. And Veigar's one of those champions that actually farms my minions, my Voidlings, which is quite annoying this game, but I kind of work my way around it. I'm trying to thin the wave as much as I can without missing CS, because if the big wave crashes under the tower, it's really difficult for Malzahar to CS under tower because your damage is so low early game and you're so mana intensive that it's really, really hard. But I did the best I can here trying to prep as many minions as I can, and I'm able to get I don't actually end up getting the cannon here, but I'm able to get majority of these creeps. Oh no, not really. So I'm actually 14 CSs, not the end of the world, but this is one thing I've seen that's really hard on Malzahar is CSing in the early game. So now when you're level 3, you can start using your E and your W like this, and starting to like push out. Because getting pushed under tower is not optimal here. And it looked like Veigar was leaning, so I really don't want to follow into River. And that's a huge tip I'm going to give you guys if you're playing Malzahar. You don't want to follow into any early River skirmishes. For starters, you're so mana intensive, and you do no damage. And if you die in the early game and have to blow your flash, it's really, really bad because you need that flash for level 6 to flash ultimate someone. So here on the back side, I'm looking to kind of push with my EW now as much as I can, And what I'm looking to do now is actually wait till I can base on a cannon wave. And I'm leaning onto the bot side here because I just saw Warwick in top river. He showed in top river for a little bit, so I'm just leaning onto the bot side here. See how I panned my camera there? So I panned my camera up to the top just to make sure that it was a cannon wave. Because then what I'm going to do on the next wave is EW the wave, use my dematerializer on the cannon, and then shove and reset. And it gets me a really, really good reset. So there I was able to lean onto the bot side to avoid that Warwick gank. And now what I'm thinking is, okay, it looks like there's a potential river skirmish. So you can see in the bot in this right-hand corner, there's a lot of pings going on here. That looks to contest this scuttle. So what I'm thinking is, well, I don't really want to go for the fight. What I want to do is shove and reset. Because that's what I want to do as Malzahar. So what I want to do ideally is, because I can outshove Veigar super easily with my dematerializer, I'm thinking, well, if I just EW this wave and then, like this, EW and then dematerialize the cannon and then walk, it's going to be so much harder for Veigar to be able to come to this fight. Because even if I came to this fight, there was nothing I could have done anyway. Veigar can just ignore me. So the only good thing about this whole thing is that I deny Veigar a lot of CS under tower there, trying to punish him for that roam. And so now I just reset. And see, I was able to use my dematerializer, get the wave in really quickly, and I'm able to get a decent reset here. So I want to work towards my lost chapter here, so I end up getting an amplifying tomb and a dark seal, which is for laning strength because you start corrupting pot. Recommend starting corrupting pot, and I come back with my teleport. So now I want to make sure Veigar either can't base or has to use his teleport also. So what I intend to do here is actually freeze, pull the wave into this. I was actually intending to pull the wave up here into this bush, and then make the minions come to me, and then wait for my next wave, these minions to come here, and then kind of keep it out here. But then Veigar ends up walking towards me to make sure I can't freeze. So I'm like, okay, if you want to play that game, I'm going to make sure you can't base. Because now I've already based, right? I've got my items. So you'll see me now, I'm walking up, and I thought he was going to juke my Q here, so I put it a little bit further, but he didn't even juke. So I just end up auto-attacking him to stop that recall, which was quite funny. So now my objective is because, okay, what I'm looking at is he has no mana, right? He has no mana. So what I want to do is stop him from recalling because I'm just going to get infinite priority right now while I'm in lane. So I walk up all the way here to see this, stop his base again with a Q. And what this is doing is allowing me to get so much pressure, exert pressure on the map. I actually should have actually went deeper for a ward there. I actually should have walked up onto this ledge over here. And as you kind of look on the minimap on those raptors and got a deep ward. Because that was my opportunity here. But what I was actually thinking in the moment is, again, I want to continue to keep Veigar in lane. And now as a cannon wave, I can just EW. I'm nearly hitting level 6. I can, so as soon as how I wait to use my dematerializer, I wait for it, the thing to spread onto the cannon, and then I use my demat, because then it just instantly swaps it to the range creeps, which is a huge tip that you can do there as well, because it always goes from melee range, the melee creeps to the cannon creep, and then to the range creep. So then I use that, and look how much room I get to move here. So now this is where you can look to get roams off on Malzahar. You use your dematerializer, you use your EW on the wave, and then you can move. But unfortunately, at this time, my Zac was just basing. He did like a really slow clear. So I was just hovering here. And then I see the blood scent on this blood scent thing on Warwick. So I'm like, shit, I think he's around the area. So I definitely can't look to get this roam. But I still exert pressure, make their bot lane back up a little bit. And use the Scryer's Bloom to kind of see where their vision was. But because here I can't contest Veigar because I know Warwick's in the area as well. So I have to just walk around the long way here. So my intention as Malzahar, as you can see, is I constantly either want to do one or two things. I want to either set up the wave to get a gank off onto this Veigar, or I want to push and move and help my teammates in the sides. Because I can't solo kill him. I need my jungler. So now you can see Veigar starting to clear my voidlings with his Q, which is quite frustrating, but not really much I can do here. I just kind of got to do my best to make sure I'm not catching waves under tower, because it's really hard for me to CS otherwise. So I'm just trying to use my voidlings, my E and my W to get as much farm as possible. And now I have to just wait and be patient for my Zac. So now I'm pinging Veigar because I think this guy's a free kill. He should no way be able to walk up on the tower. He has no like QSS. There's no way he's going to get out of a gank. and I can just walk up and ult him if my jungler's near. So what I need to do is just be patient. He's used his E now, so he walks up here. Zach goes for a jump. I wasn't sure if I really didn't want to use my flash ult, and I do a slow combo there, but we're able to get him on the back end here with the with my abilities. But then Warwick comes and counter ganks in. Vega actually like one shot Zach, so it was kind of misplayed by me. I should have comboed a little earlier, I think, but we end up getting the kill. And again, the power of Malzahar is that you can shove really, really quickly. I get a blue buff off that, and I'm able to shove. I think I end up getting a plate here as well, which is really good. And again, a tip is use your W, your voidlings when you're hitting tower, because they actually hit the tower as well. So now this is really, really good for me. I had to use my flash, unfortunately. I'm not even sure if I had to, but I end up choosing to in that moment. And now my intention is, okay, well, I've got my Lost Chapter now. I want to start building towards a Mercury Treads. So I end up getting a Null Magic Mantle. Usually I would highly recommend going the CDR boots because it really helps your the cooldown of your summoner spells as well, which is really important. Your summoner spell cooldown is super important, like your flash for your kill threat. And here I was actually looking at top, and I pinged missing, but I didn't see which side Veigar leant, so I was really late on my my pinging. And what I should have been doing is pinging Veigar, walk all the way up here. And actually something I didn't cover before. Notice on the minimap, look at this ward. I'm draw around it. I put this ward in the lane. And I'll go back on the replay here just to show you what my intention is. So as you're recalling and doing like this, see how I chuck this ward here? And so when you know the enemy's going to have tempo, I know Veigar's alive now coming right out of base. He's going to be able to walk out, get the next wave, and then he's going to choose to walk to one of these sides. So what this ward actually does is it actually can give you information and allow you to ping out where the enemy will roam to, and then it's going to help defend my sides. But I actually put the ward down, but as I come out of base here, I see Veigar on the minimap here, but I must have been too focused on looking at top lane, or maybe thinking about my itemization or something, because I saw Zach look to path top, so I was looking at top, and I didn't catch where he went. So if I used that information that I set up before, I could have prevented them from chasing and dying here, which is quite annoying. So now I know that Veigar's moving. I want to shove as fast as I can here. And then I want to be able to look bot. I want to respond bot. I don't want to waste my time hitting tower. Veigar's made a move top side. I want to use my move bot side. So I shove, EW, again, bang, bang, bang. I can't help him, so I'm just going to lean straight bot. They ping that Vayne warded this tri-bush, and they know I'm coming, but little do they know, there's the little blast cone here, and I go for this little dive here. And I don't have ultimate, so I know that we can't look for 100 to 0. So what I'm doing is I'm playing very patient. I'm not auto-attacking them because I know they'll die. I wait for them to use their abilities, and then I just Q on the back end here. Because I know he didn't have flash, because in timer, in the chat you can see, or in chat, they said he didn't have flash. So which is a nice little roam there. And a lot of players, I recommend they would just hit mid tower. No, you always want to try and respond by killing the other side. So here I was able to get another little kill here on the Vayne with my E and get out here on the back end. Tried to save him and he ends up getting out. He's all good. So so the next items I'm looking for is my Ludens, and I want to look for my Mercury Treads, because Mercury Treads is really good against Veigar. My ultimate's coming back up now. So I'm getting quite strong here off that double kill bot. So they look to start Dragon. I know Camille said Camille has TP, and we are looking for a play here. End up taking Dragon aggro, which is quite annoying here. Pop my passive. So he goes way too deep here. So as Malzahar, the way you want to be approaching fights, what I found in my experiences playing Malzahar, is that you very rarely want to be, you don't want to be sitting there ulting in the middle of people. You don't want to be flash ulting too deep into the backline. Generally, the way Malzahar is either one or two things. You're either playing pick, you found a pick and you're bursting one person, or you're playing fights front to back, peeling for your AD carry, or bursting that target that's in your range. So this is just way too deep here. I cannot follow him. I can't start my ultimate in the middle of three people, so I'm trying to kite up to my AD carry here. And I didn't feel like I needed to ult this Thresh since he's so deep, so I just used my E and W. And I have teleport now. So what I'm thinking is, okay, most likely a dragon fight's going to be happening. They're backing all the way up here. I'm going to quickly use my EW mid and then reset and teleport back to the dragon. So I use my EW here, but then they continue to all in for some reason, even though our jungler wasn't round, and gets a little bit messy there. But I end up, and this is the strength of Malz. What I recommend for you guys to do is really try and utilize your strength, which is your wave clear. Your wave clear, once you get Ludens, is really, really strong. So I start to build to my Ludens because I'm super far ahead. And again, in terms of itemization, you can go Ludens, but you can also go GLP. GLP is also good, but it's just that next level of complexity. And in terms of second item, you can either go Rylai's, you can go Zhonya's, or you can go Liandry's. I found that Rylai's can be okay, but when you're really far ahead, I really love rushing Liandry's after Ludens just for that insane damage in team fights. And a little bit of added tankiness. And there, I saw that KO was overextended top, and there was a TP ward behind him, and my jungler was top side. So I'm able to get a nice little pick here, knowing that we couldn't really defend Dragon anyway, because my jungler was top side. So I end up using my TP to go for a kill here. And remember, when you go for a kill in the side lane, always push it out. So I'm pushing it out here, using my Voidlings as I go to hit the tower, so my Voidlings can help chunk out that tower with me. And I end up getting 2 plates here, which is quite nice for me as well. And I really want to fix these lane assignments. Now that Kael's TP'd, I'm pinging that I'm on my way mid, but Camille's still staying for the next wave, which means that I should stay for the next wave as well, because I don't want to get far behind on farm. And he ends up running at me, knowing that I don't have ultimate. So I use my ghost to get out here, because he slowed me with his little passive there on his item, Gunblade. So now, I'm able to just go back to my normal lane assignment. Camille tries to go in, but he gets one shot, and then Veigar flashes. So something to note, though, which is super important when you're playing Malzahar, timing flashes is absolutely crucial. Now that I've seen that Veigar doesn't have flash, I need to be thinking about that consciously. Okay, and making sure I'm timing it in chat, because Veigar with no flash, especially when he doesn't have QSS, he's an extremely free target. So I'm out of here to just back up my team. Warwick's trying to run away, and I end up getting my E just on him there and get another kill here. And so my objective now is just to push and move and help my team. That's what I really, really want to do here. So I end up being able to pick up my blue while I'm in the area. And I haven't really been touching on Spellbook, but in this game, I've swapped to a few different summoners. I swapped to Ghost. I find Ghost is really effective. I feel like Ghost is really effective on Malzahar because it allows you to close that gap since you don't really have that natural gap closer. I like Heal because it gives you the survivability, and it also gives you that movement speed to kind of close the gap. And a lot of these other ones, again, it's situational. You'll kind of see me swap out, and I'll try and explain as I go along in the game. As soon as it gets into mid-game, my thought process when choosing the summoner. So I'm trying to clear this ward here. Making sure they don't know when I roam. But again, see how I'm constantly leaning onto the bot side because my bot lane's winning and my jungler's on the bot side here. And there I was just out of range of my E, which was unfortunate. But I force him out and I get huge priority here. Not a big deal. He would have died there. And I'm able to get another plate here. And then I think I just reset. Yeah, I get a plate and then I just reset. I think I actually get 2 plates. I stay for another plate. So I end up getting 2 plates here, which is really good for me. So I'm very rich right now. And I've got pretty good CS. I'm 120 CS by 13 minutes, which is not bad. So I'm just resetting. So now I'm thinking, okay, in terms of itemization, there's a few options here, like I said before. I see a lot of Malzahars go Rylai second. I think that's an okay item. But since I'm so snowballed this game, I just want pure damage. And I feel like Liandry's and for that magic pen and that sustained damage in fights is a lot more beneficial when you're ahead. So I recommend going Liandry second. I most of the time go CDR boots purely because of the summoner reduction, and then also since you go Rylai's or Liandry's, you don't get much CDR, so CDR boots kind of fits in well there. But in this game, because they have so much hard CC, they have Thresh, Vayne, Veigar, Warwick. A lot of them have a lot of hard CC. I think Merc Treads was just a really appropriate adaptation for this game. So I was pinging Veigar here, but Zach chose to gank top, so there's not much I can do here. So now I just got to play patient. I just got to play to clear as much as I can. EW the wave. I gotta just wait for my jungler at the moment. And it looks like my bot lane's resetting and my top's looking to reset soon as well. And I know Warwick's around mid, so I just got to be... right now I was actually really scared. See how Veigar was like posturing quite aggressively? So I just wanted to try and get vision to see where he was moving. It looks like, and since right now my jungler was ganking top, so I just wanted to lean onto top side to try and scare off Veigar if he wanted to roam into top river. And I'm scared to clear this ward because I don't know where Warwick is, and their support was roaming in river, and I have not much information. So I'm trying to clear the wave from a safe distance here. And then Warwick's in river here. So this is a bit of a scary skirmish for me. So again, when heading into these river skirmishes, this is not optimal for Malzahar. Malzahar wants to be coming in with the team and either burst someone through their ultimate so people can follow up on your ultimate, or you want to play the fights front to back with your front line in front of you and people following up on your damage because you're so immobile, and just playing those front to back team fights. But in these river skirmishes, everyone's split. There's no one going to be able to follow up on my ultimate. I really don't like these fights, but I just kind of got dragged into it. So this is something you really want to avoid on Malzahar, ideally. And so I ended up just choosing to try and go on Veigar to make sure he can't join the fight and exhaust him to make sure he couldn't like kill Camille, but he ends up dying. He goes in. I'm able to get a kill here on Veigar with my E, but then Thresh roams up, and then I end up dying to Warwick here because I'm pretty sure he just chomps me at the moment. His heals and stuff. But Thresh got the shutdown on me, which is not too bad. So next, what I'm thinking about is, in terms of itemization, I'm working towards my Liandry's. Here, Jhin actually ends up getting bot tower. So what that means for me, I'm actually pinging in chat. Infernal's coming up in a minute 30. So, thinking about lane assignments. After bot tower is dead, I want to be in the bot lane, right? Because our next objective is the Infernal Dragon. So I'm thinking, okay, I said in chat, Jhin mid, Jhin go mid, off reset. But because he actually died in his 1v1... I end up just walking mid to catch the next wave. But because he gets the tower, it actually allows me to get Liandry's as well. So now what I'm thinking is, alright, let's just prepare for this Infernal Dragon. That's ideally what I want to be doing here. So come back to lane here. I just got to wait really for Jhin. There's not really much we can do. And again, I just need to be really strict about how I kind of play these fights. I don't want to be caught I don't want to be split. I don't want to be caught on the side. I want to be playing with my team so they can follow up on my damage. So I know that Vayne was just basing here. So I knew that Warwick was topside because he just got Rift Herald. So using the information that I've gathered from around the map, I know that I'm safe to shove this out on my own. So I walk up here, and the reason, again, I'm shoving this out this next wave as well is because I want to shove this and then group with my team. I don't want to have to catch this wave later because Dragon's coming up so soon, in around like 20 seconds, 15 seconds. So now I push and then I move and collapse. And then here, I'm able to get a little kill on the backside here. I'm trying to go for an ult, but I didn't want to ult. I didn't want to ult Thresh. I didn't think it was worth it. So I just hold my ult for now. And I really don't want to waste my abilities on Thresh, since he's not worth anything at the moment. And I just want to kind of just play for mid tower here. And then we ended up getting mid tower, but then he just completely overextends. So I'm like, alright, well, if you're going to give me the kill, let's just take it. And then we end up getting the dragon on the back end here. So notice again, I'm constantly trying to push waves in the side and then group with my team. I don't want to split. I want to be there around objectives with my team. I'm trying to play fundamental, kind of strict League of Legends, because you will get punished if you play Malzahar. If you don't play along these guidelines, you will get punished. So I get this blue. I don't really need to base yet because next I'm actually trying to build towards Rabadons. And when you're really far ahead on any mage, you can actually kind of skip the bullshit. You can skip the Zonyas, the Banshees and stuff. You can actually just go full damage. And that's kind of how I felt this game. There wasn't much MR in the game. So I felt like I didn't need Void. I didn't need Rylai's. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go Rabadons next. So I wanted to save up for a needlessly large rod. So now I'm telling Camille, you need to go bot. I'm pinging Camille go bot because, again, why do I need to be top? Well, the next objective is this top tower. And it's pretty sure, I'm not sure if it's not Rift Tower, but this top tower is the next objective. I don't want to be versing this Veigar bot lane because then I'm not going to be able to group. So I end up going top, but Camille's not moving for some reason. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm just gonna ward here and then kind of bully you off this lane. And then not much I can do here. I was actually looking to do Krugs, but then Krugs was down. I could have reset here, but I really didn't want to reset because Jin and Janna just came back on the map. I felt like it would have slowed down the tempo of the game, but if you choose to reset in these other positions, then, you know, that's all to you. I don't mind. And I'm not swapping any of my summoners right now because I felt like they're both really important. And you always want to keep your flash, and I thought if they ganked bot, I could maybe, like, counter gank it or something. So what I'm saying is we should, you know, I want to be hovered around topside right here. So right now, Zach and Janna and stuff, and see how Janna's hovering in bot river like that? I'm like, I don't know what he's doing. So what I'm doing is pinging assist me, pinging on his Janna, and come topside. Don't lean bot side. Leave Camille on an island. Play around me. And so notice how I'm not compensating and just grouping mid. I'm controlling the team and telling them what I want. Because if I just go mid, they're not going to contest. They're just going to back up. We have no or very little engaged. And they're just going to walk away. And this next objective is this tower. So I want them to play around me so then I can push up. We can threaten the dive on whoever shows top, and then we can kind of snowball the game. And this is what you got to do in your own games if you really want to push your advantage. You got to control the team with pings. And yes, I know this is like a Grandmaster game or something like that, and people will listen to pings a little bit more. But in my experience, if you communicate properly and you kind of assess the situation, people do follow eventually. So now look how much better this is. Now we're able to they're leaning up in river. We're able to get this tower, which is a lot better for me because now I can just shove and move. You have a lot more time to move. And now I really wanted to quickly get this next wave because it's pretty easy for me. I can just E, then W it, and then I just try to back off here. So, and now I choose to, I'm pretty sure I just choose to reset here. I actually I think I catch this next wave, then reset. So while I'm here, might as well get it. So I'm you can notice how this game, and this is how, you know, in your solo queue games, if you really want to stay on the clock in terms of CS, you know, I'm at nearly 190 by 19 minutes. You have to be able to be efficient in the side lane. You can't compensate for your team. This is how you really, really carry games if you want to play a mage and really carry. You can't get behind in farm. So I'm building towards my Rabadons now, given that they don't have too much MR, and I feel like I'm quite ahead. I'm contemplating swapping out my TP for a defensive summoner, but I hold on to it for now. I'm just contemplating. So right now, this is something that I recommend doing. Notice how I don't go straight to top lane. So if I'm going to draw on the minimap here, a lot of mid laners, what they do is that they just go straight to top. It's a really good habit to get into. When you see your team just grouping down mid like this, just come with them. Just go mid first, get control, chuck your vision down, and if the enemy come in, you can look for a fight. The minions aren't going to go anywhere. If you look on the minimap, the minions are both chilling top right now. I can go there after. So when your team's grouping like this, 5-man, just group with them for the meantime until you're 100% sure nothing will happen. And here we look for a little pick on Veigar. This is a bit sketchy, but this is a choke point. I'm able to kind of get my ult off on Veigar. He just flashes out. And I'm trying to peel back. And so actually, I'm going to replay this fight a little bit and kind of break it down. So heading into these fights, I don't mind it because, again, Veigar is... I'm playing with my team. Notice how I'm playing... My Zach's here, and I'm playing behind my front line, which is really good. Ideally, one of them is just here, and I'm able to just ult him, and I can kind of sit back in the choke point here. But as this fight plays out, he goes quite deep, and I get my ult off, but I wasn't in range to get my E, unfortunately, but I thought I just needed to get my ult off. I thought we could just burst him, because Jin should have ulted earlier. I end up E-ing and attacking the next closest target next to me, and that's what I recommend. Always try and just damage the next closest target. And I use my E on the back line there. Notice how you can kind of see I use my E, my Q, sorry, on the back line. And what this is going to do is try and, it's going to prevent them from following up on Warwick if he dives in. So then Warwick goes on me, I flash out, Janna starts to heal, and then I re-enter the fight, Qing, E-ing, constantly playing with my team. I'm not overextending. Just playing with my team. Again, they go for Vayne, so I'm going to go for Vayne. I'm just constantly swapping my targets to the next closest target. And now I instantly ping Baron because we've got a few kills. Ping Baron. There's no point sieging. Baron is always the better play here. And we end up going for this Baron. Yeah, I can just fast forward this a little bit. We end up getting the Baron. Warwick dies, and then we look for a reset, which is quite clean. Fast forward this a bit. Again, I finish off my Rabadons, which is quite clean. And now I can actually swap my flash out. So I swap my flash out for barrier, I believe, because I don't have any Zonyas or anything like that. So I swap it out for a barrier just for extra survivability. Cleanse is also fine, but since I have my passive and my Merc Treads, I felt like Cleanse wasn't as important. In chat, I'm saying 4-1, so 4 people mid, 1 bot, since Camille's in the split. And what I want to do is just keep Baron mid Baron, the mid-wave Baron, from a distance, because my team wants to do Dragon, and we don't want to siege yet. So, seeing how notice I'm kind of just from a distance, this is how like you can be really, really annoying. I'm not overextending. I'm not giving them an engage opportunity. I'm just keeping the Baron wave, the minion Baron, which is just annoying for the enemy. And I'm just playing patient, knowing that we really want to get this Dragon, Cloud Drake, in a few seconds. And then after this Cloud Drake, we can continue our siege. So in the meantime, I'm recognizing that they don't really need me to help them with the Dragon. So I'm just trying to play a little bit defensive here. And make sure, keeping this Baron, this minion wave Baron. And now my team's grouped up. I can play a little bit more aggressive, get like a little Q off on Vayne there, EW the wave, and now we can start to set up our siege. And you can use your Voidlings like this to kind of buy a little bit time for your extra minions, because they count as minions, but obviously you don't get the extra damage, but it's better than nothing. Now, notice again, I really want to be playing with my team in this next fight. I'm just autoing, standing behind the minions. And when the team walks up like that, notice how your Q is such high range that what you can do is it's similar to Orianna. You can simultaneously walk backwards and Q like this. So it kind of disrupts their engage, and it also gets damage off while you're kind of creating space. This kind of creates space here. So I was able to kind of get my Q off here on the Thresh, and then also just peel back. And now this is perfect for Malzahar. See how I'm just peeling my AD carry like this? I ult the person who dives on my backline, constantly using my Q, E, Qing the backline as much as I can. My E is just bouncing to everyone. End up getting a quadra kill with my E, which is quite cool. And then we end up finishing the game off this. So, again, a few tips I kind of want to give this game for Malzahar, since I've played so much Malzahar in the last, 48 hours. A few things that I realized. You got to be extremely disciplined. So, I'm going to kind of title this as, my top 5 tips on Malzahar. 1, your early game, you must be extremely disciplined. You don't want to get dragged into any fights. You don't want to have to blow your flash, because your flash at level 6 is absolutely crucial. Utilizing your teleport to come back in lane and utilizing dematerializers to get optimal bases, to get roams off, and to help your jungler or whatever, is super, super important, because, again, Malzahar, because he's not naturally a roaming champion, because he doesn't have that much mobility, utilizing your fast wave clear in addition with the dematerializer, it's going to help you exert a lot of pressure on the map, and that's actually helped me get a lot of roams off on the side lanes. And then you also have to recognize, okay, you should be putting your pinks in locations that's going to help create gank threat on your lane, since your ultimate at level 6 is such insane gank threat. And then also, you need to be very vigilant of QSSs. If anyone buys QSS, you need to make sure, okay, I can't ult that person in teamfights. You need to be able to adapt. And again, finally, in skirmishes and teamfights, you need to be very clear in your identity. You need to be clear, okay, am I A, peeling for my AD carry, or B, am I looking to kind of set up a pick and play 100-0 fight on someone, or make 100-0 pick on someone, and then kind of rinse through the rest of the team. And as you can kind of see, if I quickly go back here in that last team fight, this is a perfect example of just peeling for my AD carry. Here we walk up for the tower, and notice how I'm not kind of doing anything special. And I see them walk at us. I use a Q to kind of peel back. Jin gets caught. He had to use his QSS. So then I E, ults. And now this again it's so much space for my AD carry to do a bunch of damage. And then I can continue to follow up behind my team like this. I'm not going in too deep, constantly going in and out of the fight. I'm making sure my E and my Q, using them off cooldown. And then that's how I kind of like going about playing Malzahar. So Malzahar, to summarize, again, isn't a champion I'd recommend playing. If you want to play it, this is how I would recommend playing it. I think it can get you to Diamond, But again, post diamond, it doesn't have many good matchups. And then also it's really easy to counter with just QSS. That's why I don't really like it. It can be quite frustrating. So have a go with these runes and masteries and this playstyle. Hopefully these tips really work for you. Cheers. Thanks for watching.